Good morning, Mark Sudduth, HurricaneTrack.com here with your Hurricane Outlook and discussion for June 21st, 2017. Let's jump right in and take a look at the very latest concerning Tropical Storm Cindy. And if we look at the 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Central Daylight Time advisory package, winds are 50 miles per hour. And I'll show you where those winds would be measured in this system. Those are not occurring along the entire coastline down here, believe me. And by the way, I am in coastal Mississippi. We'll get to that in just a moment. Pressure down to 996 and it's moving northwest, finally, steadily at 10 miles per hour. So let's click on this and we can take a look at the track map associated with it. Over the next day or so, this will gradually move towards the southwest Louisiana, upper Texas coastline here, southeast Texas, and make landfall in the overnight hours tonight, early morning tomorrow, Thursday, and then eventually move up through western Louisiana and a track on into Tennessee, and maybe the remnant circulation ending up somewhere up here in Virginia. And so this entire region has the potential to have maybe some heavy rainfall over the next couple of days, and the possibility of severe weather with these dying tropical systems. That can happen, especially during the heating of the day. So we'll need to keep an eye on that. You notice here on this particular graphic, this area shows the extent of the winds with the system. And some of those tropical storm winds are reaching the coastline of Louisiana, but along the rest of the area over here, the Florida Panhandle across Alabama into Mississippi, maybe 25 to 30 mile per hour winds along the immediate coast. Let's get rid of that one. I had it in there twice. So this is a visible satellite animation, and you can clearly see that the center of circulation is pretty much exposed down here to the south of the Louisiana coastline. But some shower and thunderstorm activity is trying to develop up here on the northwest side. I just don't think it's going to have what it takes because of dry air and upper level winds not being favorable to develop these thunderstorms all around the center like this. And as such, I don't see that this will strengthen, if at all, and it'll probably begin to weaken some over the next 24 hours. Conditions just not favorable enough in the atmosphere. A tremendous amount of dry air across this area, and then the upper level winds just not favorable. So that's certainly good news from the wind standpoint, but I tell you what, the rainfall across the Florida Panhandle and what has already fallen through Alabama, Mississippi, and portions of Louisiana here, really excessive in some spots. In fact, we can take a look at that here on the watch and warning map. You can see all the greens down here. These are the flood advisories or watches and warnings. And then you've got the tropical storm warning along the immediate coast. And then the yellows is tornado watch. It's been a long night. Got a few hours of sleep after getting here, and I'm a little groggy. But yeah, the yellow area, the spin in the atmosphere, the unstable atmosphere, some of these squalls can produce brief tornadoes. Brief as they may be, still a big problem if it comes your way. And so this just kind of outlines the different hazards that are going on along the Gulf Coast. And then you notice, too, completely unrelated, but boy, it is hot out west in the desert southwest, especially. I guess that's where it's supposed to be hot. So we'll just leave that there. Looking at the radar, this is a pretty wide coverage of very heavy rainfall, especially in the Florida Panhandle. Here's Interstate 10. Please slow down out there. If you know people that are traveling, say, look, you're going to be on I-10 or any of these interstates here, I-65 coming out of Montgomery, and then just look at all this big area of rain. I see it often. People driving so fast despite the heavy rain, and it doesn't take much for you to lose control. You spin out, and that can have very, very dire consequences. I also want to point out over here in the northwest part of the Gulf, that's the center of circulation right there. Believe it or not, the actual low center, probably right down here. And as you can see, the storms are just not wrapping their way around. Most of, we'll call this 95% of the heavy weather, so to speak, is located over in this area. So like I said, I'm down here in the coast of Mississippi. I set up a couple of cameras. Really nothing dramatic happening, but it's good to keep practicing, making sure the equipment works. And so far, so good. I've got a live camera in Gulfport and another one over in Waveland. And if you check the Twitter at HurricaneTrack, that's my Twitter feed, you can get the links to those, or you can go to Ustream.tv, that's USTREAM.tv, and just search HurricaneTrack, Hurricane TRACK, and our cameras will pop up. You'll see the two that are live, but I'm going to post the links to those in Twitter again in just a little bit. All right, so not a lot happening down here to sum it all up. The main event, of course, is the rainfall, and that's enough of a disruption that I'll keep pounding it. I hope people mainly just chill out here along the highways and byways so that we don't have any unnecessary, as if there's necessary accidents, right? But you get the idea. Just slow down and keep safe. Well, that is it from me for now. I'll probably post another update this evening, maybe just a little bit after dark, and give you an idea of what will be happening tomorrow morning as this thing makes landfall in southwest Louisiana. And we'll see at that time, later tonight in my update, if indeed this is still, trying to wrap those thunderstorms, or is it weakening, or just what. So I'll post that this evening. All right. I'm done for now. Mark Seth, HurricaneTrack.com. Thanks, as always, for tuning in. I do appreciate it very much. And I'll talk to you again this evening.